What does this work or this work have to do with being black? Let's find out. Hey y'all, my name is Jalen and this is Art in Color, a channel where I talk about contemporary artists of color for the most part. This week I want to talk about abstract art. Before we start the video, please subscribe to my channel so you can get a notification every time I post a video. Let's get into it. So I've talked about abstract art on this channel before, but I thought maybe I should give just like a little refresher of the definition. Abstract art can be defined as art that does not intend to represent an accurate depiction of reality, but instead use geometric shapes, colors, forms, and gestural marks to achieve its effect. Also, a gestural mark is just like many art historians agree that abstract art picked up prominence in the early 1900s. One of the most iconic first works is a Black Square by Kazimir Malevich. Shout out to my friend Sydney for telling me how to pronounce that. I hope I did it right. It is a simple canvas with a black square painted onto it. But fun fact, in 2015, this gallery in Russia did an X-ray analysis of the painting, which is basically where they see what the under layers of the painting are, like what he painted underneath the square. And boy oh boy, did they find a handwritten note, and what did it say? Negroes battling in a cave. Malevich had jokes. So anyway, usually when people think about abstract art, they think about this, or this, or this. What do all of these abstract artists have in common? Well, they're all white and they're primarily men. So coming into this video, I was like, why is it that when we think of abstract art, we primarily think of these white artists? Why don't we think of any black artists? So I started doing research on black abstract art, found some things. Well, there's the obvious fact that art history is very Eurocentric, aka centered around European and white Western artists and art concepts. But that's obvious, and I'm not here to talk about the obvious, I'm here to spill the tea. So since abstraction was introduced in the early 1900s, we have to think about what black artists were up to during this time. The Harlem Renaissance. It was basically this huge movement of black artists in the early 1900s in Harlem, New York, who primarily wanted to use art to uplift black people and tell their own stories. One of the central tenets of the art during this time is the idea of a unified black self. The idea is basically, if your painting is not explicitly uplifting black people, then what is the point? What are you doing, sweetie? Prominent theorist and activist W.E.B. Du Bois is quoted as saying, "All art is propaganda, and ever must be, despite the wailing of the purist. I stand in utter shamelessness and say that whatever art I have for writing has been used always for propaganda, for gaining the right of black folk to love and enjoy. I do not care a darn for any art that is not used for propaganda." So instead of creating abstract artwork that could basically be interpreted to mean anything, these artists were creating figurative work, meaning works featuring figures, specifically black figures. Then in the late 1900s, just to speed up and simplify it, there was the Black Arts movement, which was all about black pride, again about depicting black people in art beautifully with grace. So basically black artists were like, okay, for the past 100 years, white artists have been depicting us with big red lips, eating watermelon on the side of the road. So now that we can create our own art, why would we paint dots and circles? We're gonna paint us, we're gonna paint who we are as a people beautifully and accurately. But eventually different black artists were like, wait a minute, we can literally do whatever we want. We can do abstract art. It doesn't have to explicitly be about blackness. We can explore our interest in every single which way. And here's where we come with some black abstract artists. Let me give a few examples. Maren Hassinger is an abstract artist known for working with natural and industrial materials such as branches, wire rope, newspapers, and plastic bags. In her 2008 work, Wrenching News, she takes newspapers that testify to the daily horrors of life in the US and transforms them into a wild abstract garden. Maren Hassinger is an artist who is very insistent on the fact that black artists should be able to create whatever they want. She is quoted as saying, "Insisting that black people talk about their blackness and about their trauma almost exclusively makes it a style, a trend like minimalism." And fun fact, I helped her build one of her installations in Harlem, New York, which I'll put a picture right in front of my face right now, I will. It was super cool. Another abstract artist that comes to mind is Howardena Pindell. Howardena Pindell is a painter and mixed media artist whose work explores color and shape in the process of making art, often through a political lens. Her work is often about racism, feminism, slavery, and exploitation. In her book I Minded, Living and Writing Contemporary Art historian and author Kelly Jones quotes Howardena Pindell, recalling an incident in the late 60s. "I remember going with my abstract art to the Studio Museum in Harlem, and the director at the time said to me, 'Go downtown and show with the white boys.' We were basically considered traitors because we didn't do specifically didactic work." What she's saying is the work was not about being black, so this museum that was all about black art did not want her work. Mary Lovelace O'Neill is another abstract artist, but her work is interested in intangible elements of the human spirit. She often explores deeply personal narratives as well as broader themes of racism and social justice in her bold, colorful works. Sam Gilliam, another prominent black abstract artist, is well known for his signature pouring method, in which he pours paint directly onto unstretched canvases, then bunches the canvas up and drapes it on the wall or from a ceiling. He emerged from the Washington, D.C. art scene with these, quote, drape paintings, and created a breakthrough in what abstract paintings could be and do. You know, there are many theoretical ideas on what abstract art is for. Is it just art for art's sake? You know, you look and you have this beautiful experience with a color or a shape or a texture rather than a painting of a person? Or is it about purity of form? Is it just, you know, looking at colors and saying this is as good as art can be? But you know, black artists can take all of these ideas into consideration and blend them, as I've just shown, with ideas of politics, racism, social justice, or you know what, none of that. Of course, there are hundreds of other abstract artists out there that are black or even just people of color. Norman Lewis, Freddie Styles, Hale Woodruff, Jenny C. Jones, Shanique Smith, MacArthur Binion. But you can feel free to go and research all of those artists yourself. I'm gonna list some articles below so you can check them all out. As always, please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, or maybe even if you hated it, just give me a thumbs up anyway, I don't know. The question of the day is, who is your favorite abstract artist? Let me know below in the comments. You can also suggest artists for me to talk about in my next video. Below in the comments, down there. Start a conversation, make a friend. Until next time, goodbye!